Are you struggling with an adolescent pup, especially on your walks? Now, this is probably not what you signed up for when you brought home that puppy, right? So let me share some insight of what you may be going through and why it's happening. So first of all, the adolescent period is a challenging phase for the dog as well, not just for you, with a lot of physical and mental changes happening during this time. And the age, you probably start seeing a shift in them about maybe 4 or 5 months old, up to, and it will last up to about 2 years old. And for some, maybe even 2.5 years old. So, this change in them, it's not surprising that one of the changes can be behavior. One common challenge, as you probably already experiencing during this period, is frustration barking and pulling towards other dogs or people. Now, this is often stemming from a desire to play, or interact with them, but because they're being restrained by a leash, they get frustrated. And, you may be seeing this, like up on their hind legs, trying to get to the other dog. Now, there are two possible reasons that may be fueling this behavior. And one of them is a mistake you probably unknowingly reinforced. The first one, as I mentioned, there's a lot of physical mental changes going on. At this 4 to 5 month old period, you'll start to notice that your puppy becomes more curious about their surroundings and maybe less attentive to you. They may even seem to ignore you when they're exploring. On your walk, they rather go meet other dogs and people. And as they're growing into their bodies, some of them are getting big, and controlling them on leash can be more challenging. And, maybe for some of you, maybe embarrassing as you cheerfully yell out, "He's still a puppy," as you're pulling them away. The second possible reason, and most likely, maybe the biggest reason, is, did you encourage your puppy to meet other dogs and people early on? Yeah, this is not unusual for a lot of people to do, especially after they get their, dog vaccinated. They're taking them out. And while socialization is important, they don't necessarily have to go meet everyone for this socialization process. But I will talk about that in another Training Tip Tuesday. So what has happened is maybe you unintentionally reinforce the "go say hi" when you meet other people and dogs when they were really younger, like right after their vaccine and so on. So which leads them to frustration and pulling when you stop allowing them to meet everyone. Now, don't feel bad if you did this. You are one of many, many who do this because you're trying to be a good pup guardian and start them off well. Now, you probably know what I'm going to say next. This unwanted, undesired behavior won't go away on its own, but it can be addressed with the right training. And you really want to focus on this before it gets ingrained. So let's change this behavior. So I'd like to introduce you to our upcoming workshop. It's called Silence the Yappy Hour. And it's coming up next week on September 10th and 14th. You can go check out which one is a better day and time. And basically, we will cover these kind of topics. How to stop your dog pulling and barking so you can finally enjoy your walks together. And maybe, you get a chance to start working on those first steps to teach your dog to greet others calmly, politely. And the biggest thing I would like to do and help the pet parents do is, raise a confident as well as well-behaved pup. Well, thank you for joining me for my Training Tip Tuesday. And I will share the link to this upcoming workshop in the comments, or if this is Instagram, in the profile. You'll find a link up there too. But I hope to see you soon. And I really want you to think about addressing this now, seriously, before it gets ingrained, where it's going to be much harder to change their behavior. All right. Thank you for joining me for my Training Tip Tuesday. And I'll see you next Tuesday.